Hey guys, J Road here, and this is my review of Sharknado. Now, just to let you know, this is I think this is the first movie I've had to actually watch a second time, just because it's that awful. Spoilers. Now, I decided I was going to tally everything I found wrong with the movie. And this is my system. This is my tally page. Yeah, that's the tally page of everything wrong with this movie. Now, I actually should have counted these first before I started this, but to let you know how awful it is, I will count them right now. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 90, 100, or 95, 100, 105, 100, wow. Yeah, literally, it goes on. And that's just for bad CGI. That's just bad CGI. And then bad screenwriting, like unrealistic reactions, has literally 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 67 for bad screenwriting. And some of those moments include, let's see, well, hurricanes do not hit California. We had to Google that. Secondly, a Ferris wheel is structurally not sound enough to go down a pier, and then it turns in the street. Now, it doesn't actually show it turning in the street, but for some reason it runs that. Also, the people don't move out of the way of a Ferris wheel, a rolling Ferris wheel that's on the ground because of a tornado. They had a Jaws ripoff where literally they just decided within the first half an hour of the movie they're going to shove a tank of gas. It doesn't even specify what kind of gas. They just put some kind of gas in the shark's mouth and then shoot it. But it was just conveniently lying there. And, what else? They outrun the police. There's an inconsistent amount of water on multiple occasions. Like, the house floods, but there's not enough water outside for the house to be flooded, which I had a problem with. Also, does the house not have a basement? Would not drain the water down there. And they were on a hill. Again, in any kind of plane, water rolls down. Laws of physics being broken. You cannot fly a helicopter next to a tornado. That is physically not possible. I mean, I'm not 100% sure. I don't... Oh, also, his son, it looks like he's in his 20s. The main character, Finn, is looks like he's in his 30s. So, how the fuck does that work? Oh, and apparently surfers know how to make bombs. There's 2 surfer bros know how to make bombs, and bombs stop tornadoes. Not even done. Also, conveniently, there's 2 times where they conveniently just happen to be near a store of what they needed. And a gas leak does not make a car explode. If you've been driving a car and then you get out of it and it explodes, that I don't think that would happen. The teacher gets crushed by a Hollywood sign after Finn saves a bunch of kids on the bus, and his wife's like, "Oh, you always put other people before yourself." While he's saving a bunch of children. Unrealistic dialogue. The son is unrealistically happy. I just like he's like, Oh, and there's this whole thing about this character named Nova who's like interested in like hitting on Finn in the beginning of the movie, and he's like, nope, I'm your boss, I'm too old for you. And then she falls in love with his son at the end of the movie, which I okay, just can't even contemplate on how awful this movie is. Oh, and somehow there's a shark that dangles on a rope. Now, I'm no expert in biology, but I really feel a shark would not jump up, bite a rope, and then hang there. As they are fish, they do need to breathe water. And I decided to Google this. The average rise of a bus is not high enough for, the water was low enough under the bus tires. Now, the average rise of a bus is about, a foot tall. I mean, most of you have ridden a school bus. That's not nearly enough water for a shark the size of which was attacking to swim in. And physically, I feel a tornado, if it did suck up a shark, which is big if. Because I'm sure sharks, as mammals that understand, or not as mammals, as fish, with animals, understand that sometimes they should swim deeper to avoid bad weather, just like most animals. And a duck, there's a scene where a duck gets eaten by a shark, but a duck would have flown away if there was an oncoming storm. It's just, oh. And a lot of other inconsistencies. I literally had to mark every time there was bad CGI, and that took up half a page, or well, a third of a page, but all the way down. That's all tally marks of bad CGI. So if you play the CGI game, the CGI drinking game, this is for sci-fi, like cheesy sci-fi movies, then I have something to tell you. Try it with Sharknado. You will be hammered within, like, I don't know, the first 20 minutes. I couldn't even get half an hour into it without even getting down half the page. And Finn shoots sharks out of the air with a pistol. Now, I am no expert in physics. Like, I understand basic principles. But, like, if you shoot a gun, it shoots a tiny projectile bullet. Well, that might kill a shark. I really doubt that would... A shark that weighs about, I don't know... by the size and proportion, I'd say probably about a good 800 pounds. If you shoot a tiny little bullet at it, I don't think the amount of force is necessary to actually push it back, like, in midair. It would go through it. Now, judgment on this movie, I have to say, is... This is what I think. Sci-Fi Channel has jumped the Sharknado. Yes, and I do stand by that joke. I feel it gets a 10 out of 10 on epic failness. It may possibly be equal to Birdemic. The only difference is Birdemic is slightly worse. I mean, Sharknado makes you want to just rip your hair out. It's so generic, so bland, crappy CGI, the laws of physics, and I still don't understand how two surfer bums and his son know that a propane bomb will stop a tornado. No, there's no law enforcement at this time. He also outruns the police, and somehow they refuel their thing on their truck that they've stolen from a movie fucking place, and there's a shopkeeper who's like blames sharks on the... I can't honestly, just... It's that bad. And he screws up her name too sometimes. And Nova, and she's like, Nava? Or, like, I don't understand. She's like, I'm Nova. She's Nava. That was like something that bugged me, and there's a couple of other things. But yeah, to watch this movie, like, it's not a good movie. I think they purposely knew that after, like, if the producer's like, okay, this is gonna be a shitty movie, let's do it anyway just because it's funny. It actually is kind of comical, like, just the over dramatized bullshit. That's what I think of Sharknado. Please post your comments if you watch the movie yourself. Come to your own conclusion. I give a Sharknado a 0 out of 10 for actually being a good movie, and a 10 out of 10 for being a bad movie. If you want to watch a horrible movie, watch Sharknado. And that is all. Come to your own opinions. Check it out. J-Road, out.